I'm here to share with you some of what we do in Road to Recovery. My name is Alona Abt, and I'm a very privileged and blessed person. I like what I do. It's very important to me. I'm in the media business. We do television channels for children. This is my family. I'm a mother of 3. And what may seem to you as a smiley-looking family actually encompasses the abnormality of living in Israel and especially being a parent, because it was taken when we went to say goodbye to my son Yoav that was drafted into the army. And I think it is when I look at my children and I think of their future, or when I hear the news and I think about my 85-year-old parents who live in Kiryat Gat, which is in missile distance from Gaza, I worry, and I worry a lot. I worry because we feel that hate and violence are growing within Israeli society, on our borders, and unfortunately I think we're living in times where it's a dark, frightening tide all over the world. And in such times, especially in this last day of Hanukkah, I think the very natural thing is to try and be withdrawn, feel intimidated, feel that you're too small to do anything about it, hope that diplomats know what they're doing, and just deal with your own little garden and own little family. And what Road to Recovery has done for me is given me the opportunity to do whatever I can, just get up and do it, and move over to the illuminated side. What we do at Road to Recovery is we drive Palestinian people that need medical aid from the different crossings to hospitals in Israel. We do this from the north to Gaza. Most of the people that we drive are children. Most of them have life-threatening diseases, cancer, heart conditions, need transplants. This means that they'll be back and forth from hospital many, many times. And we meet them on a very, very small of their long road for recovery. We help them get to the hospital. The road starts very early in the morning. You have to get your kid out of bed. It's usually still dark. You have to get into the car, get to the crossing, queue up, go through the checkup, all to be out on the other side at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then you have another about 2 hours to get in time for your doctor's appointment, and then start a long day of treatment. And this is where we wait for them, because when they'll come out on the other side, there's no public transportation. Most of the people that we give a ride to are people that will not have the financial means to just take a cab or something like that. So many of them may, if it was not for us that we would take them, they may have not gotten the treatment that can help them. I feel very privileged to be part of the organization of Road to Recovery. Some of my friends are here. It's a bunch of individualists, different careers, different places, living in different places. She's an interpreter, Ronnie is a lecturer, Yoel is in a wheelchair himself and rides people from the crossings. And each of them has his own lifestyle and his own things going in his life, but we are united in the thing that this very simple, direct action is possible for us to do, and that's a good reason enough to just get up and do it. It works very simply. There's not big infrastructure. We're a big organization, I'll tell you in a minute, but it works very simply. You go into an Excel sheet, you see if you can do the ride to the hospital or back from the hospital to one of the crossings or to one of the hospitals. You can do it once a week, you can do it once a month, you can do it once a year. And there, in the privacy of my car, it's my little intimate territory, I'm the host. It's me, a mother and a child, or usually we try to get two people inside, so it's 2 parents and 2 children. And we have an opportunity for what Yuval calls a small piece, 1 hour of just being together. Sometimes the children fall asleep and it's a very silent ride. Sometimes The child isn't calm and the parent will try to soothe them at the back. And sometimes we get to chat. And whatever does happen in the car, at least for me, it's the most glorious way of starting a day, because you know exactly what you've done for someone else. How did it all start? Yuval Roth, who is here, he started the organization, and actually it stemmed out of his personal tragedy. Yuval lost his brother who was murdered by Hamas activist, and he joined the family circle, which has bereaved families on Jewish and Israeli and Palestinian families. And one of the colleagues, Palestinian colleagues, asked him whether he could help him out and take his brother for a ride. And Yuval said, sure. And sure enough, very quickly, the brother asked if his cousin could be helped too, and the cousin asked to help someone else in the village, and very soon Yuval recruited his neighbors, families, friends, and it was some time later that he made David Corey, the manager of Leonard Cohen, who heard about this activity, and pulled out a check from Leonard Cohen to Yuval and saying, hey, this is for your organization. And Yuval said, we are just a bunch of volunteers. We have no organization. So we said, well, maybe it's the time to have one. And that's how it started. We are today 1,400 listed volunteers, 700 active drivers. Up to today, there's no one paid salary, so it's really totally, all of us are volunteers. And it's amazing that we're constantly on the growth. For the last 2 years, we've been growing 20% in the number of volunteers, number of patient trips, number of people that we can help. This is my baby. I wasn't doing enough driving as I wanted to. It didn't fit in with my schedule. I still have one son that is still school and you have to get him in time. And I thought maybe it's easier for me if there will be just one project a year that I will take upon myself. And for the last 3 years, I've been organizing a recovery day at the sea. I must tell you, it's one of the most blissful days in my year. This year we had 200 Palestinians and 100 volunteers. The people that come to the sea, of course, we take care of everything, the buses, the permits, which are the most important, the food, and so on. For many of them, it's maybe the first time they've ever seen the sea, or very scared that they could get there. And it's an opportunity to have the entire family come and spend the time together. It's not the child and one parent that gets the permit, but it's a family event. So the whole family can enjoy a relaxed time, and we, the volunteers, also get a different opportunity to speak to the people that otherwise we drive them in very specific circumstances. This year I felt it was very significant that except for other people chipping in with helping us, donating the site, donating the buses, donating the food and so on, this year among our volunteers we had many Arab Israelis standing together. This is very rare that I find that Jewish Israelis and Arab Israelis can be on the same side, offering a hand for a humanitarian cause, and that was another added important value for me. When I take a look at what you can see on the sea, this is my daughter, the happy faces, the cries of joy of the kids in the water. Remember the very first day, Yael, who is here, she saw me looking at the water and she said to me, you know what? I think this is what peace may look like. And I think that's exactly I think, a very good description. I wanted to share with you one story of many. We ride about 1,000. We drive about 1,000 patients a year. This is one story. TAYYSER'S. He's from Rafah. That's in the Gaza Strip. He had a kidney condition, so he had to travel from Rafah to Rambam Hospital, which is in Haifa. That's a long ride. And for 3 years we've been driving him. This is Azriel Dansky, is the retired gentleman that volunteered and got very attached to the boy and the family. Taysir went through a transplant, which was very successful, and he's living now a healthy and happy life. Sometimes some of the patients pass away. This young, beautiful girl, 16, is Amna Faraj. She was with us in one of the days at the sea that we did, and I think it was one of the maybe very first times she was ever at the sea, and the last, because a few weeks after she passed away. But still, I feel that we gave the possibility for her to experience a happy day and for her family to have happy memories, and for us to have happy memories of getting to know her and getting to know the family. And I think it's this direct contact and direct meeting and having a face for us and for them that is expressed in this letter that Yuval got only a few weeks ago from Khaled. Khaled is he's not a kid. He's an English teacher. And he wrote, "You've saved my life twice, once from cancer and once from being a fanatic." And I really believe that, small as it may sound, what we do has a ripple effect. It's the individual, it's the family, it's the Hamula, it's the village, it's the whole community. I invite you to join us. You can drive for people that don't want to drive. You can pay for the gasoline for other people that want to drive more often but can't pay for the gasoline every time. And we would really appreciate any support we can to do what we're doing, and much more, because we have other plans of how we can deepen our contact with the people that we've got to know. And in the same spirit of Hanukkah that I started, I would like to say this is just like a free translation of the song we sing, about each little one of us is a candle, together with their stead light. Thank you.